Acha. So, welcome guys. Today again we are meeting for the fourth episode, and this is a very good time because again today we have some questions about the music industry as well as how it goes for the band uh, to come along and play live show and how do we make our jobs easy as a listener. So this is the overview of the today's podcast. I think we have been pretty good and the responses were also really good. I want to thank everybody who have heard us so far, and we are definitely going to, yeah, horns up. We are definitely going to keep the wagon going, and maybe we will have some more people joining us, and definitely we'll talk about everybody what's happening around. Probably I'm not a very good person to attend gigs and everything because I'm located at Chhatrapati Sambhajinagar, Aurangabad. But both of you are definitely well situated. So yeah, so that's your advantage. So today I will start with a question directly, and yeah, so I want to ask Ninad, is technically challenging music better music? How do we ascribe value to a certain band or album? What do you
Yeah.
think?
Um, so I've heard, like in the community, whenever you meet people at gigs or meetups, not so much as you grow in age, but there is that always there's that competition. Ki, look, like this band plays more notes per second than that band, so therefore their music is better. If like all of us are 80s 90s kids, so you might remember trump cards, WWF trump cards, right?
Yes, absolutely.
So we like to play trump cards with our bands sometimes, it seems like. So the question I always had is like, is how do you say, like someone who listens to, say, Evanescence, or someone who listens to Dream Theater. Like there used to be that competition. Oh, Symphony X is better than Dream Theater because they play so and so scales or whatever. They play at a certain higher speed or something like that. So to me, that debate was almost like always it was senseless. For the simple reason is technical or non-technical. If it sounds good to you, if it moves something within you, if it elicits a reaction out of you, that is good music, regardless of the technical level. At least that's what I feel. Because for I know some people that they cannot appreciate a band unless they are at a certain, technical height or level. So I know people who reject, say, 80s hard rock because it's not busy enough or difficult enough.
Right,
So there are people like that.
right. I get it, but 80s hard rock, you are saying that somebody who listens to the 80s hard rock in 2025, right?
Yeah.
Or is it somebody who has been listening to that part of the era and maybe from that era and now he is dismissive about his own era? Are you saying somebody who is new to it or someone who has gone through?
Either way, I mean, I guess
Hmm.
depends on what you get exposed to first.
Correct.
Maybe, yeah.
Yeah. So for me, I think this is also there is a nostalgic value, right, to the technical aspect or the music at large. Because if there is a nostalgic value to what I'm listening to, what I have listened to so far, I might be able to connect with it more just because I have some value, memory ascribed to that music, and I won't really look at the technical aspect. You know, for example, if it's my first song which I have listened to, maybe first metal song. For example, my first metal song was Nothing Else Matter, and to me it was a very emotional journey like everybody else, and also the lyrics talk about that. So So whenever people talk about Nothing Else Matter, I don't really judge it on the technicality and the aspect related to that. I judge it based on the nostalgic value. But if you bring me something called Rush, or maybe you bring me Beatles or something like Motorhead or all of that, then again I'm not going to look at the technical aspect. I am going to look at the where band is coming from, maybe the memory associated with it, or the if there is iconic value again to that music. You know, if somebody like Lemmy is playing, and that's a Motorhead song, then I would be someone who would say, okay, fine, this is a Lemmy song. I will definitely enjoy it, and I won't skip through the song. You know, without looking at technicality. You know, or maybe if it's a Rush song, or some song from 80s or something like that, I won't look at the technicality. I will just end up listening to the song. Probably I'll dig more deeper, and I'll go farther back. You know, I'll go further back and I'll listen to again, something like what Beatles listen to. Some people say Beatles, yeah, there is some discussion about Beatles and Ravi Shankar, Pandit Ravi Shankar. So I'll associate that, and maybe that will be my another gateway to get into all of that, and some 2 3 hours will be spent over all of this. So I have really not judged music based on technicality. However, if a band like maybe my band, my own band, or somebody my friend's band, if it's today's music and I know the musicians, or if it's yesterday's music like last 5 years maybe, then I'll put the technical value to that, and I'll definitely judge that how is it engaging enough. You know, instead of technicality, I'll just say is it engaging enough, and then I'll judge that yeah, apart from technicality, apart from engaging point, is there technicality to it also? So, and then I'll say that it is a better music compared to something, or it could be better compared to something. I'll end up comparing when it comes to technicality. And then, so far as ascribing value is concerned, I want to ask Satyajit, what do you think? Do you put a value, nostalgic value, or do you put some, what value do you put when you listen to album or a certain band?
Yeah. First of all, I whenever I listen to an album, I first try to listen at you can say just the first few minutes, and then if I don't like, I skip to the next song, because each and every track being good of a particular album is something which is a very rare occurrence. Now, just case in point is Pearl Jam 10. All the songs are good. All the songs. This is what my experience has been. But I somewhere feel that as a band, obviously, it is very very tough to make each and every track uh, go go and listen and just
Yeah, correct. That's
listen.
going
Yeah,
to be an issue.
yeah,
Yes.
that's going to be an issue. So obviously that luck part also plays a lot of
Acha, what comes to your playlist, or what comes to your this
yeah.
thing,
So yeah, that is also there,
your
and
notice?
yeah,
Yes.
to my notice. And I somewhere feel that on the technical part, that
Hmm.
which was the first part of our question,
Hmm.
is
Hmm. Hmm. Yeah, you
I
can pitch in on that.
yeah,
Yes.
that's where I feel that on the technical front, if I listen to to music, the first and foremost thing that catches my attention is the guitar riffs. Is something
Correct. Correct.
that
Okay.
always
So you are saying the melody, the how it
yeah,
turns up.
yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
And then the vocals, the
Hmm.
lyrics,
Hmm.
because most of the times when I like a track, I listen to the vocals, and then I go through the lyrics as to what exactly the lyrics
Yeah.
are about.
So
So
you are
that is
the
something.
person who does the homework.
Yeah, yeah, homework. Well, that's a very
Yes.
big word. I
Correct.
don't do any homework as such, but yes, I do sort of engage about what is given in a particular track. I was just listening to Sky Rabbit today, and that's where the whole lyrics part and everything is something that really caught my attention. So that is where I feel is important when it comes to the technical portion.
Right, right. So, what do you think about the iconic or nostalgic value that may be there to an album or a song?
Yeah, the nostalgic value uh, is something that is very important for me because how much so ever I dive into the new albums, new artists, I always tend to go back to maybe a Megadeth, or maybe uh, you can say Iron Maiden, maybe a Slipknot. So that obviously it it comes out because I have been listening to all these bands since donkey's years. So it all obviously has a nostalgic value. So my playlists I have put in such a manner that whenever I want to, I go back to those songs that I always like to listen to. So yes, nostalgic value is something that is quite an essential part when it
Yeah,
comes to listening to music. Yes.
yes.
So, Satyajit, Megadeth and Metallica is a very good comparison. It's relevant to our first question. Like, if you look at things, Megadeth is way more technically challenging to listen
Yes.
to as well as
Yeah,
play
definitely. Correct.
than
Absolutely.
Metallica.
Yes.
So, if you had to choose one of the two, which one would it be?
That's a very tough question because technically, if you ask me, yes, Megadeth. But if you ask me whether a more nostalgic value, yes, Metallica is something that I like to listen to. Many people talk about their Black album and many other albums, but if you ask me, Symphony and Metallica is something that I really loved. Not many people like Symphony and Metallica, but personally, if you ask me, S&M is
You're,
something
yeah,
I really,
the
really loved. Uh,
99, I think it came out in
19,
something like that.
1999 or 2000, yes.
They played with an orchestra, that album you're
Yeah,
referring to.
with an orchestra, yes.
Yeah, okay.
There are
So far as
few
I am
tracks.
concerned, I think so whenever I listen to Megadeth, it's more like the aggression and the speed metal part of it,
Speed metal,
and
yes.
I end up liking the technicality, including the drums and the riffs. And whenever I listen to the Metallica band, I get more into the emotional part because Metallica is very emotional journey for me.
Yes.
And in fact, that was maybe the first concert I have attended. So yeah, that is why it gives me some kind of a different high. And whenever I listen to Megadeth, I feel very mature and something. Maybe I feel present whenever I listen to that, and I keep comparing, like, have I learned something from the technicalities of Megadeth and the lyrics and riffs and and the drums. So for me, Metallica Megadeth comparison is about that. And yeah, the controversies are endless
Yeah,
when we talk
absolutely.
about this.
Metallica and Megadeth, the controversies are absolutely sky is the limit when it comes to Megadeth and Metallica. We all know the history, so no point going back to it. But
Yeah, correct. If you want to enjoy and get your time, you know, uh, uh, get yourself busy, then this situation is very tricky, and it will definitely entertain everybody. And for me, I think Metallica and Megadeth situation to me as a person, it gave me a certain value to listen to Megadeth because I look like a hero to me because who does this as soon as he leaves the band?
absolutely.
Okay,
Yes.
on the same journey, on that bus ride, of which the ticket was handed over to him. on the same journey he decides that he wants to do one more band, and that definitely gives me a very powerful message that no matter what happens, you can get up and get going. And I think a lot of self-help books also have referred to this
Yes,
situation
yes.
of yes. So if you have read something from Mark Manson, then Mark Manson's book refers to Megadeth's and uh, his switch, you know, to
From Metallica to
starting a new
Megadeth. Yeah,
band.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, and actually I was looking at this day before yesterday only.
Hmm.
So I had to write a paragraph. So for that I was looking at this situation, and if I could read that Megadeth, he was part of a band called Panic. You know, Dave Mustaine was part of a band called Panic, and after a while he joined Metallica, and then after Metallica he continued the same song. You know, the Four Horsemen and this controversy, Four Horsemen and what is the Mechanics, that controversy. He continued the Four Horsemen riffs and all of that. He continued into the Mechanics song, and later even James Hetfield renamed the song and called it Four Horsemen and changed the lyrics. So we all know this. Yeah,
Yeah.
Satyajit, do you want to say that you like Metallica more, or you want to say that yeah,
I
it's
like
it's both
Megadeth
ways.
more. I like Megadeth more when I like because I somewhere feel that the vocals of Dave, to me personally, they sound more powerful as if I compare them to Hetfield, for the simple reason that Hetfield's lyrics are, yes, obviously they have reached the masses. Uh, Dave, if you ask me, has been quite sort of a character who has not been able to reach James level. The reaching the masses is what I am talking about. But I somewhere feel the lyrics also are much more powerful than Metallica's. I mean, that's really I feel, and the
Yes.
riffs, everything. I personally I like Megadeth more than Metallica. But yes, on an emotional front, if you ask me, as I started listening to
Hmm.
Metallica first, yes, Metallica is there. But if you ask me on a scale of 10, I would maybe give 8 or 9 to 8 maximum to Metallica, and maybe a 10 on 10 to Megadeth.
Okay. Okay. So now we have this situation where you have 8 and 10. So it's really difficult and tricky for me to say that you are on some side, because that 8 can become 10 very soon. I don't think there is much of a difference here. But
Because
TK.
both are great bands,
Yeah, yeah,
obviously.
correct, correct,
But I
correct.
somewhere felt that I feel that
Yes.
Megadeth, I feel that they don't have a lot to achieve
Hmm.
technically, if you ask me,
Hmm.
technically.
Hmm.
Technically, but still feel that Metallica has a lot more to achieve on the technical front. Is somewhere
Okay.
is my opinion.
Yeah, correct. The recent album and everything is really good. Yeah, the way they have come back with that power. Oh my god, it was really good, really good. I loved listening to the recent album and even the releases, and yeah, it's really good. The artwork and everything, the yellow and black. Wow, it was too good. Yeah, too good. So far as Metallica is concerned. Yeah, and Mustaine's energy, we know that Mustaine has fought through cancer and everything. It's
Absolutely.
everybody is well aware about it. His willpower and energy and their personal journeys are really good. I'm digging deep into this, but yeah, I'm so glad that Ninad picked up that topic. I was just referring to
Yeah, we
the
saw
situation.
we saw your depth of like on the group. We had shared that Metallica Megadeth history video now. Was it part of that deep dive you talked about?
No. Yeah. Definitely. Yes. And along with that, I was going back to the book I bought. Uh,
Yeah, I saw your status. Yeah.
बहुत सही है यार. बहुत ही सही है. Everything about it. And going 10, I don't know. I had read this some 5-6 years back, and now it feels very new to me. Everything. So yeah. Even Lemmy's part, we should bring that up sometime else. But I'll switch to the next question, and I'll ask how can regional language and cultures contribute to the growth of metal in India? Ninad, you can pitch in, and then Satyajit, you can take forward.
Okay, regional languages, I think it's a lot easier to bring in uh, local flavors when you have local lyrics. For example, take a band like Avial from Kerala. They sing in Malayalam exclusively, so they are not bound by the restrictions of rock and metal, and they bring their folk music into it along with traditional tunes and
Yes.
all of that.
Yes.
Yeah, I think it goes very well with the hard rock style, or they've picked the material very well.
Yeah, I have to go back and listen to them, but sounds very interesting to me.
Yeah, it's really awesome. Like when I heard Avial for the first time, I didn't believe. Like obviously it was Malayalam, so I knew it was an Indian band, but the level of polish and technical chops, songwriting, production, you name it, it was like my jaw dropped. Not literally. But yeah, Avial is one of those bands. Then I'm not much into the scene, but I've heard there is a lot of good indie stuff also happening. Like there is a band called When Chai Met Toast or something,
Yeah,
and
correct. They're good.
there's another band called The Local Train.
Yes,
Yeah,
they're also good. Yellow Diaries is also good.
yep. So I think
Yeah.
it will just expand all of the tonal and scale options that metal already has and infuse it
Yeah.
with a local flavor.
Yes. Avial is something else. I can recollect I've heard one song maybe, but they're too good. They remind me of Mother Jane. Is it correct? If I'm
Yeah, Avial
Yeah,
did have
correct.
some
Right.
like the two bands share some members at some point.
Acha,
Yeah.
acha. This is new to me. Right. So far as drums is concerned, it really sounds very mixture of carnatic and rhythms, and maybe a mix of what regional culture and what and the vocals itself. That's a defining factor in this example. But yeah, I totally get it. But do you think that there should be you know there should be some regional language, except the title of the band in the lyrics, or do you think that it's a subjective question again?
I'm all for including lyrics in regional languages. It should just not feel odd while writing or listening. Like Malayalam has been done, so we know it sounds good. Hindi
Yeah.
has been done, we know it sounds good. Marathi, I'm not so sure. Although I don't know if you guys are familiar with a Marathi rocker called Nandu Bende.
Yes. Yeah, he's a proper celebrity thing.
Right. So
Yes,
I haven't
yes.
heard much of his material, but if I imagine Marathi as a language in metal,
Right.
or it's, I don't know.
Okay. So can I pitch in? I know someone from my city, Chhatrapati Sambhajinagar, Aurangabad. So he so someone from our city is a vocalist of Thaikudam Bridge. I don't recollect the name, but he's doing really good in that band. Yeah. So I think do you want to, shall I ask one question and go further than what we have, you know? So what do you think about fusion? Are you saying that this is one of those crossroads where regional language and culture, all of that mixes, and then also there is a rock or metal version, and it's, yeah, a fusion is a good example of that. What do you think about fusion?
So you're asking me or Satyajit? You want to?
Satyajit, you can also pitch in.
Yeah.
What do you think about fusion? What do you want to say? What do you want to, or you can also pitch in on our original conversation, that how can regional language and cultures contribute to the growth of metal in India? And
Yeah,
if you want to pitch in about fusion and what it has done so far, then
yeah. First
yeah,
of all, I will touch upon the part where Ninad left off.
right,
Uh, there was this Kula festival which happened just this Sunday, the Sunday that
okay,
went by. There, this Serpents of Pakhanba, Vishal Singh's band. That was really awesome. I saw a few videos of the same on Instagram, and those who had put on the MH Metalheads group as well. Such cultural uh, shift of from just only English, or maybe the languages that are much more
right,
relevant with metal. I think we,
hmm,
as a country with such a diverse cultural background, I feel we should encourage such bands, because for the simple reason that it gives so much of room uh, to for variation, and so much of room
correct,
to
correct,
various musicians to
yeah,
like I was also going to mention about, yes, Agam. Just a
agam,
couple of years back, I had seen them live during Independence
acha,
Day.
acha,
Yeah, if you have not heard them, I'm sure you must have heard them. But there are a few of their tracks, like Mist of Capricorn. It's beautiful. It's absolutely like, people who have
right,
not heard them,
right,
even they have liked that music, because I shared it that song with a cousin of mine, and that cousin, he she really loved it. So
acha,
so 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 mm, so I think the creativity levels when it comes to metal is something that is lacking in the Indian metal scene, is what I feel.
right,
So that is where the cultural part, if it can be explored,
right.
our
Yeah, I can.
metal bands can go places, is what I
Yeah,
feel.
I can say that there is a willingness. However, there is a short-sighted or short, something like so. If I am somebody who picks up on the fusion part, or I want to put my cultural values into the song,
Mm.
then
Yes.
maybe I am somebody who is self-censoring myself, or I'm not pitching in because I'm saying ki this is just too early to talk about it, or this is just too local to talk about it. Maybe these kind of things are putting off. But so far as the band you have mentioned, Sarpans of um,
Pakanba. Yeah.
Pakanba, and that I think the way they have put up, and I have spoken to Vishal, and his approach to the band and the professionalism and everything about it is really, really commendable for me. And the
Absolutely.
message that he wants to take forward so far as the tribals and the area which he represents, that message is also, yeah, he has communicated it very well.
Absolutely. Yeah.
And
You're correct.
to me, I think this social value also, no? So far as culture is concerned, the social aspect, whatever happens around you. So I think that social aspect is also important, and that is where the diversity comes up, and the diversity, like you said, will definitely open up a lot of avenues, and maybe a lot of people will definitely put their own voices in something like metal. Not exactly metal, but we want something happening like metal. Maybe like we have, we have so many songs in Bollywood which sound hard rock, no, or rock, or somewhere on the bottom, on the sides, or and however they don't really, however they communicate the message which is required. Something like that. If that happens, and it is really exciting to see. And Satyajit, says the way you welcome the idea, and everybody else is also doing their bit. Like Bloody Wood, they have some Punjabi elements. In fact, the language also, some Punjabi words are also there in their lyrics, and Hindi words are also there in their lyrics. So, to me, I think this can contribute to the growth. This can definitely contribute to the growth, and it will connect a lot more people, and a newer audience might come up. Like there is an audience for bands like Indian Ocean, Indian Ocean, Parikrama, and Raghu Dixit Project, then Thaikudam Bridge. This audience and audience for the bands like Yellow Diaries, Pratik Kohad, and some bands we have mentioned before. There is a diverse approach. However, it has opened way too many opportunities for a lot of people to connect to that music. In a similar way, we want the cultural value to be ascribed to metal also, and some experiments will definitely be welcome. I think I'll propose one of those solutions would be to start, looking at what is happening around you, and maybe start with the local, things which relate to you, and start talking about that in your song. That may be a way forward. I think that may be a way forward, because one of those situations we all know, everybody writes about what is happening in their offices. Everybody writes about that. So there are so many bands writing about what is happening in their offices. We know that. But outside the office, there is a lot of social issues and cultural issues going on, and there is language and everything else. We can talk about that in our songs, and it will definitely, maybe somebody takes it up, or somebody likes the conversation we are having. So that would be the start of the whole, you know, uh,
New
cultural aspect
revolution.
that we are doing. Yeah,
New
yeah.
revolution. Yeah.
I like your band. I like your T-shirt though.
Yeah, Rage Against the Machine. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, correct.
I got it printed actually from a
Acha,
friend of mine.
acha. So far as these two aspects are, I think this one is about technicality and other is about the culture and regional language. Both aspects are really personal and subjective to everybody. But however, some discussion around it might really, you know, uh, put the spark in someone's head, and maybe that music we all are eager to listen to, that might come up. Yeah.
And
So,
the
yeah.
benefit of using local lyrics, as well as there is a lot of folk music or just local regional music, basically, of any variety, be it popular or folk. If you infuse that sort of a thing into, say, metal, there are always mm, there is always that instant relatability. Like, I get that. So I remember seeing a documentary called Global Metal. We had mentioned Sam Dunn in a previous episode. Banger Productions, Banger TV, I guess.
Yes, yes,
So they
yes.
had come up with a documentary called Global Metal, and where they had gone all around the world and discovered local scenes. And Max Cavalera of Sepultura had a brief interview in that, and he said that, uh, like, basically, he put whatever was happening around in Sao Paulo at that point into his lyrics, as well as later they came up with the Brazilian stuff,
Yes.
the tribal beats, and all of that. So there is instant relatability. Whatever they brought, there is at some basic level in every society that thing exists. So yeah, I'm all for it.
Yeah, it could bring. I was fascinated to see that some bands, maybe I think Zignema, you know, maybe they wrote about everything happening around us and the value it brought to the Mumbai metal scene. I think that value has not gone back. It has not gone down. It's still there. Every time Zignema comes back to stage, we all know what they are going to sing, what they represent, how the energy is, and we all can feel that. And definitely, they are one of those music videos where they talked about the, you know, the uh, the issue of rape, where the situation gone had gone out of control and multiple narratives had come about it, and the way the music video was shot and the way in which the vocalist and everybody in the band was able to communicate that, it was intense. I was really stunned by looking at the music video and the lyrics of that song, and it was appropriately put. Maybe there are more narratives to that where such situations should not occur. We all know, but those multiple narratives, the start of those discussions in the metal community through the song was maybe done by the Zignema, I think, so far as India is concerned, and not only the topic of human rights or anything, multiple topics they have. So we all know they have such powerful songs and such powerful lyrics to talk about, and everybody in Mumbai relates to them like anything. I think Satyajit can talk about Zignema maybe. Satyajit, have you gone to Zignema show recently, or do you recollect when you
I
had seen them?
had been to their show during 2024. I guess it was April or May.
Hmm.
Where I had been to Pune Antisocial.
Acha.
That's where I saw them live. I mean, yeah, they are different, no doubt about it. Their grind video that got released, maybe I think it got released around 4 or 5 months ago. It was really a very nicely produced one, and the way the guitarist, I think, is the bassist of the band. He, colors up his hand, and he's in a dhoti. It really they have ensured that they stand out. Uh, Zignema, but I sorry, I have not listened to their tracks like on a roll, but yes, that video that I saw was really something I loved.
Yeah, right. And
But
also there is
but yes, the
you were saying?
social aspect, I'm
Yeah.
really sorry I am cutting you
Uh-huh.
here. The social aspect is something that can be really brought up by various bands, through their lyrics, through their tracks, because there is so much to talk about. It's not just it's not just about you know talking about hanging people, killing people, this and that. There are so many things that can be spoken about. There is air pollution and pop quality of roads that are in this country. I mean, these changes can come through such tracks, because these things get a lot of attention on social media. At the same time, it 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 shows that how the authorities at the top are ignoring it over a period of so many years, in spite of we getting into the 76th year of independence. Such issues can really get their attention, so it really helps.
I think these issues will definitely help what you said. But not only today or yesterday, what I want to say is they have spoken about it multiple times, and it has given them that value. going back to the question, it has given them that value. The culture and language definitely has given them that value. However, that culture and language aspect, I think to get it flowing more and more often, we have to look at what is happening. Even like you said, the examples of roads, maybe. Everybody says like nobody enjoys the potholes, but nobody is really concerned. So we were saying everybody wants to put their word, maybe start with the roads, maybe start with the potholes, or maybe talk about the language you enjoy. Maybe write about Maraठी. मराठी तुम्हाला कशी आवडते, और मराठीत कसे आणखी गाणे व्हायला पाहिजेत ते लिहा तुम्ही मराठी. और आमच्यासारखं तुमच्या पॉडकास्टचं नाव अस्सल गोंधळ ठेवा, मराठी नाव ठेवा. किंवा किंवा मराठी, मे बी आय डोंट नो यार, देर आर सो मेनी थिंग्स. खूप काही करू शकतो. किंवा मग तुमचा काळ्या टी शर्टच्या ऐवजी तुम्ही धोतर घालून स्टेजवर जा. रघु दीक्षित जातो धोतर घालून स्टेजवर. सो खूप गोष्टी आहेत करण्यासारख्या, आणि खूप मजा येईल हे सगळं केलं तर. मे बी म्हणजे आम्ही पण असं केलंय निनाद, तुम्ही पण केलं असेल मे बी, यांनी तुमच्या बँड देम मध्ये, इन युअर बँड. सो स्नेहदीप माइट हॅव अनाउन्स्ड इन मराठी समटाईम, की मराठीमध्ये बोललाय, सगळ्यांना ॲड्रेस केलंय, आणि असं सगळं हे झालंय का तुझ्यासोबत? तू बघितलंय कोणत्या मराठी फ्रंटमनला की
नाही
ॲड्रेस करताना मराठीत काय चाललंय वगैरे?
नाही, मी तरी नाही.
अच्छा अच्छा.
बाहेरचे लोक इकडे आपल्याकडे येऊन कसं काय वगैरे म्हणतात, पण आपले लोक नाही बोलत
हा,
स्टेजवरती.
आपल्याला I would proudly mention this person called Kailas Joshi. Everybody is friends with him. Kailas mentions sometime he used to do, for a very long time, he used to address the crowd in Marathi. मराठीमध्ये बोलायचं, काय चाललंय, कसं चाललंय हे सगळं. बट काही दिवसांनी त्याचे पण ॲटिट्यूड चेंजेस, और बँडची पण एक व्हॅल्यू वेगळी आम्हाला काढायची होती, ते सुद्धा थोडंसं कमी झालं. पण ह्या सगळ्या ह्याच्यात खूप मजा येते ॲक्च्युली. आणि या सगळ्या ह्याच्यात बरेच तुमची रिजनल लँग्वेजेस नाही, पण तुमचा एक कनेक्ट वाढतो नाही का ऑडियन्स सोबत, जसं की लाईव्ह शो मध्ये या अनाउन्समेंट्समुळे सुद्धा.
सर, एक एक फालतू जोक मारतो.
हां हां,
क्रुओरिस हे नाव आहे, क्रुओरिस, तर त्याचा मराठी
करेक्ट.
व्हर्जन काय असेल?
कुरुल
क्रूर
गेस.
क्रूर 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 असशील.
काय काय सत्यजित काय म्हणतो?
क्रूर असशील.
मी सांगू एक,
काय
खरमरीत.
खरमरीत. ओके. तो बाउन्सर गेला रे बरा.
जाऊ
हे
दे, जाऊ
हे
दे.
हे 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 पुण्याचे शब्द आहेत, खरमरीत वगैरे.
खरमरीत.
हे पुण्याची लोक मस्त वापरतात. त्यांचं मराठी एकदम असं असतं की, आता मी आपला जो पॉडकास्ट आहे ना, तो माझ्या काही फ्रेंड्सना वगैरे पाठवला, साऊथ इंडियन फ्रेंड्स वगैरे, ज्यांना जे लोक मराठी त्यांना समजतं, तर इवन त्यांच्या डोक्यावरनं गेला.
अरे बापरे.
काही शब्द, म्हणजे काही शब्द, नॉट एव्हरीथिंग ऑब्व्हियसली, पण काही शब्द ती बोलली की अरे मला समजलेच नाहीत म्हणून. काय म्हणजे
अरे
निनाद
बापरे.
वगैरे, निनादचं मराठी एकदम असं प्युअर एकदम. तर ते म्हणजे ते निनादला ऑब्व्हियसली असं वाटेल, असं असं काय बोलतोय. पण हे मुंबईमध्ये राहून आम्ही म्हणजे म्हणतात ना, आमचं अशी बंबईया लँग्वेज टाईप्स आहे. तेरेको मेरेको वगैरे आम्ही हिंदीमध्ये बोलतो, तसं ते तिकडे म्हणजे पुण्यामध्ये म्हणजे मी बघितलंय. बिकॉज लास्ट इयर वेन आय हॅड बीन टू जिग्नेमा, त्यावेळी जिग्नेमाचा जो वोकलिस्ट आहे, ही इज अ महाराष्ट्रीयन. तो तो आणि कोण आपली ती ही आहे ना, तन्वी हेंद्रे, तर ती दोघे मस्त इकडे मराठीमध्ये बोलत होतो. मी म्हटलं आदित्य बर्वे किंवा नाही, आदित्य बर्वे तरी मराठीमध्ये बोलतो, सुनीत रेवणकरला कधी तुम्ही मराठीत बोलताना बघितलं नसेल. भयानक मत. नेव्हर
नाही
एव्हर.
नाही नाही.
ही कधी आदित्य बर्वे तरी मराठीमध्ये बोलतो, बट बट यू विल नेव्हर फाइंड. कारण हे कसं होतं माहिती आहे, मला कधी कधी वाईट वाटतं ॲट टाइम्स, दॅट दीज गाईज फील दॅट इफ दे आर सिंगिंग about metal singing, about about these languages, they somewhere feel that, array, is it quite sort of a low society to speak in your own language? That is somewhere I feel bad.
Exactly. Exactly.
This is something that
Yes.
needs a cultural change, is what I feel
Hmm.
personally, because you should never feel that you should never have that feeling that, okay, just because it is my
हा.
mother tongue, I should not speak in that language with a person
करेक्ट. स्वतःच्या भाषेत
who
बोलायला
knows.
काय जड आहे मला समजत नाही. हा, करेक्ट.
ही गोष्ट मी खूप बघितली आहे.
हम्म.
दिस इज रिअली सॅड, बट एनिवे, दॅट इज देअर पर्सनल चॉईस.
And I like South artists from South.
I mean,
Yeah,
yeah,
you see the culture right
there
up
are
front.
absolutely, they never feel all these things. Like they will never feel that why should I not speak in Tamil or Malayalam or whatever the language is. But this is what happens with a Maharashtrian as well. This is where
हम्म.
I feel sad. इवन माझ्याकडे जर रोड साईड भैया वगैरे आहे, तो मराठीमध्ये असेल तरी माझ्या पण तोंडातून म्हणजे हिंदीच निघतो. तो मराठी
हा,
असेल तरी सुद्धा.
राईट.
ज्यावेळी मग त्याचं आडनाव मला समजतं, तर तू मराठी आहेस, अच्छा हो, मी मराठीत बोलतो असं.
हा, करेक्ट. तर तो भाषेचा विषय थोडासा आहेच आहे. त्याने
आहेच आहे.
खूप म्हणजे खूप ओपन अप होऊ शकतात गोष्टी,
ऍब्सोल्युटली.
आणि खूप गोष्टी राहून पण जाऊ शकतात. मे बी राहून जाणं म्हणजे की समजा जर खूप लवकर खूप मोठं काही बघायचं आहे ज्यांना इच्छा आहे, त्यांच्यासाठी अवघड जाऊ शकतं. की फॉर एक्झाम्पल जर तुम्ही विचार करताय नाही मी बाहेर गेलो दुसऱ्या देशात तर मराठी कसं गाऊ जायच्या आधीच, तर मग अवघड होऊ शकतं की मराठी लिरिक्स कसे इन्क्लूड करायचे, असं कमीपणा वाटू शकतो त्यासाठी.
एक
आणि
अशी
मला
स्टोरी.
लास्ट टाइम मी आणि निनादनी तो शर्ट घातला होता की स्क्राईबचा शर्ट घातला होता त्याचं, आणि तो आय लव्ह यू पावभाजी बाबतीत होता. तर मला काय माहिती नाही का की मला रिसेंटली स्क्राईबचे लिरिकल स्टँडर्ड्स मला खरं खरं नॉर्मल वाटायला लागलेत. खूप चांगले लिरिकल स्टँडर्ड सेट केलेत स्क्राईबने. आणि ते म्हणजे मे बी इट्स व्हेरी लाईट नोट आहेत खूप, पण खूप मजा येते हे सगळं बघायला. आणि हा ठीक आहे एवढा मोठा बँड या सगळ्या गोष्टींबाबतीत बोलतो, चांगलं वाटतं वाचून. त्यांचा फॉन्ट मे बी चांगला आहे, खूप असं पॉलिश्ड बँड वाटतो स्क्राईब, पण हे सगळं बघून खूप मस्त रिलेट करायला होतं. एनिवे, आय रिली लाईक टुडेज कॉन्व्हर्सेशन अँड द वे इट हॅड इट स्विच्ड ऑल ऑफ अ सडन द मोमेंट वी स्टार्टेड टॉकिंग इन मराठीत बोललं की थोडंसं आणखी आपुलकी मी बोलायला लागले सगळेजण.
येस,
निनाद आणि
येस,
सत्यजित पण.
ऍब्सोल्युटली.
या
आणि
कडक उन्हाळ्यात असा ओलाव्याचा
ओलावा.
हा, पाण्याचा शिडकावा झाल्यासारखा.
ओ, काय उपमा दिली. So thank you guys for today's discussion. I really enjoyed it. Thanks for taking the time out.
सेम
येस.
आज सुट्टी आहे शिवजयंतीची आणि खूप मजा आली बोलून.
येस.
थँक्यू.
ठीक आहे.
येस सर.
ओके,
Yep.
भेटू चल.
थँक्स. बाय.
बाय.
बाय बाय.